Hey, Amy, can you hear me? It is recording. It's good. Hey, Erin. Crystal in the house. Hey, girl, how are you?
Good.
Good. Sorry about that time mishap.
Hey, it's okay. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's 11:01. I'm gonna pop on. Oh my gosh, I actually am on my phone when I'm ah. So and I'm sitting there and it's like nobody's there. And I'm like, did I get the time wrong?
No, I put 11 and then I think it defaulted back to 10 a.m. and I didn't double check it. I don't create a lot of Zooms, so I'm not like,
Yeah,
the best with creating these, but yeah, so sorry about that. And
it's
then I
okay.
went back and I'm like, oh no, must change that.
All right. I thought, ooh, yes, I can jump in the shower then.
Yeah. Well, I got an email saying that you were waiting, and I'm like, why is she there an hour early? I was very confused. And then I was like, there, my bad.
Hey, that's cool. You get an email.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Download the
super.
Zoom. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
All right, ladies, I think we only have 40 minutes here, or they'll cut off the recording for some reason. I think you have to pay more to go longer than that.
Right.
So, can everybody hear me? Ish? Okay.
Yes.
If you have kiddos like screaming and stuff, just mute yourself. But definitely, if you're alone, unmute so you can ask questions if you need to stop me, because I'm orange and I tend to be all over the place. So if you're like, can you go back and go over that? Just unmute yourself and then you can ask. And then let me see, is there a chat here? Chat. There it is. If you want to type something in the chat, go ahead and do that. I'll keep looking there. Okay, so we're going to talk preschool and daycare book fairs. They are so much fun. You don't have to be an ESR, and they are awesome sauce for getting trip points, meeting goals, HOC 1, HOC 2, success kits, all that good stuff. And what's great is, yeah, you don't have to be an ESR. So you can literally contact any preschool daycare in your area and do their book fair. And here's the thing with preschools, they need us. They want our books. They're not like the big elementary schools usually where they have Scholastic knocking at their door. Some of them do Scholastic, but from what I found, not anything. So it's really nice. So how I started off is I'll just be driving around and I'll see a preschool. I'm in Vegas, so we have preschool daycares on pretty much every corner. And I'll jot down, oh, KinderCare or Hand in Hand, and I'll jot it down and then I'll put that on a list in my phone, and then I'll kind of have a running list. Or you can go onto Google and just search preschools in your area, and they should all pop up with the map. And so the first step I do is I usually give a call to the school, and I will ask for the director or whoever's in charge of the book fairs if they're doing book fairs. Usually it's the director. If they are not available, I'll say, do they have a voicemail or can I leave a message? Usually they're available to speak to. So I will just introduce myself. Hi, my name is Angela. I'm with Usborne Books. Have you ever heard of us? And they'll usually say, no, I've never heard of you. And I said, well, we do, we have some of the best baby toddler books out there, and we do full service book fairs. Doesn't cost you anything. And I would love to come in and chat with you more about that and how we can help your school and get your school free books. So keep it real light, keep it short. Just let them know it's full service. So they don't need anybody to help them. They don't need teachers, volunteers, parents, anything like that. Okay, so that's when I usually make the date to come in and meet with them. I say, what time will work for you? Would Tuesday at 10 or Thursday at noon be good? Give them some options and try to book that meeting right away, either within the first week or the next week, depending on their availability. Okay, so When you have that meeting booked, and don't worry if they're not interested, okay? I have reached out to probably over 50 or 60 preschools, and most of the time they're gonna say yes, but a lot of times they say no, and don't take it personal, okay? Just really don't, because first of all, a lot of them just don't know who we are, and they just don't wanna deal with it. So it's not a big deal. So don't get upset, just keep calling, keep reaching out, that's the key. Okay, so once you have that meeting, I go ahead and I bring a catalog. I'll bring one of our book fair flyers, and I'll bring a handful of baby toddler books, because usually preschool daycares are infants to 5. So you're going to bring like a good mix of baby toddler books to show them. You know, the busy books, Lift the Flap, all the learning books, Touchy Feely, that's not my, Nibbles, great story books, right? You're just going to kind of show them the books first and let them know that once again, the book fair is full service and that we match at 50% in free books. Okay, and usually they're going to be like, oh my God, these books are amazing. Because once you get in front of their face, they're like, it's in, you know, it's in the bag. Big thing that you want to remember, don't bring your kiddos along to these meetings, okay? You want to have a babysitter or an auntie or a grandma watch them, because you want to come off very professional. You want to be dressed nicely, you know, an Usborne shirt if you can, and definitely just try to come in as professional as you possibly can. Okay, okay, so from there, usually they're like, oh my gosh, these books are amazing. You're going to tell them the benefits. At this point, you can also ask them, would you be okay? We have an extension of our book fair program where your school can get $20 in extra books for each person that hosts a party or joins my team. Would you be okay if I mentioned that to your families? And it's always good to ask, because sometimes they're like, no, we don't want you to be trying to book parties with these people. They just want to buy books. So always ask if that's okay, but then say, well, you know, if they book a party, you guys will get $20 in extra free books for every party they book, or if they join my team. So usually when they hear the free books, they're like, I want to do it. But always ask, because you don't want to go there and be talking about parties when the director doesn't want that vibe for the book fair. And definitely you want to keep it more casual as you're checking them out at the book fair. Just ask, oh my gosh, I see, you know, if they're at your book fair for like 30 minutes, like, oh my gosh, I love these books. Definitely mention it, but you don't mention it to everybody unless they're really, really interested and really jazzed about the books. Okay. Okay. So once they say yes, you're going to go ahead and look at their calendar, see what works for them and what works for you. Usually I tend to not do preschool book fairs for student bodies under 100. What you could do for under 100 is maybe do an order form, like an ordering only, and leave a basket of books and a handful of books and then some order forms and catalogs. I would do that, but to actually have a live fair, I would do at least 150 and above. Usually preschools in my area, at least, I mean, we have a lot of people in Vegas. So mine range from anywhere from 200 to 400. And I find book fairs are not going to be your huge money makers. I just want you to know that. So say on average, my book fairs are probably for preschools 200 to 300 kids. I do anywhere from about 600 to 2,000. So that's what you're looking at, okay? If you do more, great. 500 is always good. That's a good start. But anywhere from like 600 to 2,000 is kind of where I'm at.
Little interjection there. I definitely think that it's like dependent on your area, because our preschools cap out at around 120 kids.
Sure.
And I average $1,500 for preschool.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'm averaging like 80 to 120 kids. So you kind of have to feel out your area, but I'm also in a very, like, where I target my preschools is a very wealthy area. So you just have to figure out what your area is looking like. And you also have to target your book selection toward that. I have a book or an area or a school that targets lower SES, socioeconomic status kids. And so I make sure that I've got a lot of $3.99 books there, for example.
Sure.
Otherwise, the parents panic. So
definitely know your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm just telling you from my experience, that's usually what I found. But yeah, you never know. I mean, I did a Montessori book fair. It was an elementary school. It had 30 kids. I sold 1,000 in a one-day book fair for 4 hours. So you'd never know. But yeah, being in an affluent area always helps, you know. Okay, so where did I leave off? So you book the date. I usually do, if it's a smaller school, I'll just do a one day. What do you usually do? Like a one day one?
Yeah, I always do 2, because a lot of our schools have Monday, Wednesday, Friday kids and Tuesday, Thursday kids.
Yeah.
I
know their schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to like max out at 2, and I only do evenings. So I only do it at pickup.
Yep.
I'm there from 3:30 to 6.
That's what I
Usually
do.
Thursday, Friday, and that is it.
Yeah, and I usually do, I know some of you probably don't want to leave your books out, but if I do a Thursday, Friday fair, I'll put the books out on Wednesday so that the parents can really look. And I also say, you know, I have a sign that says if you want to put your books on hold, leave at the front desk, and then you can go ahead and pay when I come in on Thursday. And that seems to be, and it's like Christmas. You walk in and you've got piles of books on hold just ready to go. You know, so I really like that because when they see something they want to just get it and they want to put it on hold and have it ready. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, so you can do a 1 day, a 2 day. What Amanda said is what I do. You do pickup time. So when you have the most traffic is when you want to be there, right? Okay. So when I do setup, I'll do like, it depends on your space. So when you meet with the director, you definitely want to look and see where you're going to be, where you're going to set up. Sometimes I've set up in super small lobbies. Sometimes I've set up in like, if they have like a library or a multi-purpose room. I tend to feel it's better to be in the lobby because sometimes the parents don't get to that multi-purpose room or get to that library, and then they, you know, they see that they don't even see the signs and they don't even know you're back there, right? So if the lobby is big enough for like 2 to 3 6-foot tables, I will try to do the lobby. Okay. And I'll bring, and about a week before the fair, I'll bring little book fair flyers. These you can buy, you guys, on supply store, but they're kind of expensive, so you can just make your own. So I make my own. They're probably out of date, like that brand, but there's a 2, and then I just give them this, and then they can cut it in half. They can copy it and cut it in half. And it has the eFair link on there. Always include an eFair. Okay, and then also I bring in a wish list. This is really old, don't laugh. I bring in a wish list for the teachers and that they can copy, and then of course a couple catalogs, and then a poster. And these are new. These are on Supply Store, and they're really fun. So like a full length. Okay, so I give them a few posters that they can give out. Do you do like a week before, Amanda, usually?
Yeah, I spoke with I spoke with all my schools, and all of them have told me just to send them an electronic version. So I send an electronic version to them. They can print it off and they can put it up, and I do about a week ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you give them catalogs too for the teachers and all of that?
I bring catalogs with me, but I don't pass catalogs out. The teachers usually, when I set up on Wednesday, so I set up on Wednesday and I typically do a story time with the students.
Oh, that's a good idea.
To get them excited. Usually I'm just doing like the 3s through pre-K when I do the story time, and I try to target the books that I've got the most of. So if you're doing a story time with a book that you only have 2 copies of, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do at least have like 5 copies.
Yeah, Nibbles is always a good one, and that's why putting them out the day before is really good, because you can encourage the teachers to grab Nibbles or grab the What If Monster and read that in their class. Then the kids go home, tell their mommy and daddy, we read the best book today. It's called Nibbles, and they come in and buy it. But yeah, definitely make sure you have at least 5 or 6 copies, right? If not.
Yes. Yep. So I do that, and then the teachers shop my book fair, and they put it directly from whatever I've brought with me. I find that easier because they like to put their hands on it, and then parents can pick up directly, and they can like write their kid's name in it or whatever, and their kid can like take it to the front of their teacher.
Sure.
That's how I do it.
Okay, cool. All right, so I set up Wednesday, right? And I'll leave signs that say you can put your books on hold. I'll be back Thursday, Friday. And then, let's see. Oh, okay. So for booking parties, you guys, I think this is allowed. This is what I do. I always do an enter to win a free book. Okay. I don't blatantly put it out there. I don't mention it to every person as they're buying, hey, you want a book party? But I do have that, and I have my interest lists right there. And usually I come back on Thursday and the bowl is full. So if they're interested in booking a party, do it. You know, why not? And then also you can mention it to them if they're really excited about the books as they're checking out. You can go ahead and mention a party. So I leave that out, and I leave the hold information out. And then, so the day of the, so I come in Thursday, everything's already set up, ready to go, right? So I'll have my held and then I'll just basically work the fair from 3 to 6. And And then I always have donate a book, ask me how to donate a book to your teacher. And I'll have all the wish lists that I've given to the school before. I'll have that in front of me in a pile. And as they're checking out, I'd say, would you like to donate a book to your child's classroom? And they said, usually 80% of the time, I don't know about you, Amanda, but they want to donate a book, which is awesome, right? So definitely don't prejudge. Even if they're buying one book, they may be like, yes, I want to donate. So definitely ask everybody as they're checking out. And then you're just going to write it. If you want more info about that, just message me. It's pretty easy. And then I order them all in Order Pro. That's how I do it. So they don't get the actual book from the fair. I don't know, Amanda, are they taking the physical book?
Yeah, I have them take the physical book. I can see why ordering it would be better because you don't run out as quickly of your copies.
Because I used to do it the way you used to do it, but then I was like, no, I'm going to run out of books. So yeah.
A lot of times I'll place them like on a hold, and then that way people can still buy them for their kids, but I will give them to them Friday night, and then they can take them. So I know that that way I can look through my stock.
Yeah.
My goal is always to like move my inventory. So.
Yeah, I understand totally. Hey, Rosie, you're here.
Like wads of cash.
Hey, I was just gonna say real quick, it depends on how much inventory you take with you. Like when I do
money
book fairs, if I put a basket of the wish list, like make a basket of the actual books, I have more teachers buy them. Go in the other room, please. I'm on your phone.
Yeah.
But I have more parents buy them if they can actually buy the book and they take it to the teachers themselves.
Sure.
Or have their kid hand it over. So I would say like 95% of the time, parents are purchasing if they can actually take the book right there, look through them and look at the books.
It's that tangible aspect. Yeah, people want to see it because they'll have like a list of books and I'm like, well, I only have this one here at the fair, and they're like, ooh, I really want to see it. Yeah, so there's definitely pros and cons to each. If you have
like
a lot
I said,
of
it totally depends on how much inventory you have. Like if it's a smaller book fair, I definitely order. But some of my ones that are a little bit bigger, they take more inventory too, I do that. So.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool. So once again, I'll come in Friday. I'll work it the same way again, and then I'll pack it up and go. And then I usually what I do is to make the school to make it easier for the school, I'll take screenshots with my phone of their wish list and of the donated books for if you're ordering the books after the fact. And then I'll leave the list with the director or whoever. And then that way they can go off of that list when they choose their free books. Does that make sense, guys? I didn't do that for the longest time. And then I was like, shoot, I need those lists. Why did I leave them? You know, and then I have to like have them send me photos. So I just take screenshots with my phone of each classroom and then I have it ready to go when I put the order in. Okay, so give them sort of a heads up as to how much you sold before you pack up, so they kind of have an idea. Like, oh, it's so exciting! You know, it sold $1,000. It means you guys are probably going to get about 500, 600 in free books. Your e-fair, I usually keep open through the weekend. Is that what you do, Amanda?
So my experience, e-fairs are not successful for me. So I offer it, but I often will do orders directly there. So if people are looking, a lot of times I have people that are like, oh, there was one time that I was sold out of All Better. And I had somebody coming in who she's like, my best friend told me to get All Better. And I was like, oh, I'll order it for you. And so I order it directly there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
E-fair links. I find that when I send parents to e-fair links, they don't buy.
Right.
So I just do it right there.
That's more like the cherry on the top. If I get a few e-fair orders, great. But I think you're right. Having those order forms ready to go, especially with like books like Nibbles, All Better, they want those books. And they, you know, so-and-so's classmate had one and they want it and then you're out. So yeah, ordering it is a great idea right there. But definitely give your director a heads up as to what they're going to be earning so they kind of get it in their head. And then I always say the e-fair is open through the weekend. So I will let you know on Monday what the actual grand total was. Okay, so then after that, of course, I'll reach out to them Monday. I just send them an email and say this is how much the book fair did. Go ahead and I'll just have them reply back with the books that they want and the prices. And then I input the fair. And that's about it.
I send them to my website and tell them to take a screenshot of their cart. It's the laziest way for them to do it.
Easy.
So yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
The goal is to make it as smooth as possible for them.
Yep. Sometimes they'll take the wish list and they'll highlight which ones, and I would remind them, don't order the ones that have been donated because they'll have the child's name on there because sometimes they get confused by that. Just really try to make it as easy as possible for them because they're super busy. And sometimes they won't get back to you guys for over a week. So just be ready for that and just do a friendly reminder. Hey, I'd love to get your books out to you as soon as possible. Can you just let me know what you guys want? And then I always mention if it went well and they're pleased and the families were happy, if it was like a fall fair, I'd be like, hey, would you consider maybe possibly doing one in the spring? And usually they'll say yes. So with most of my schools, I probably have 6 or 7 preschools that I work with. I'll do 2 a year. I'll do a spring and a fall. And that's money, you guys. That's trip points. That's goal reaching sales. I mean, that's good. If you can get a handful of preschools and preschool book fairs, you're good. But you got to reach out to a lot of schools because someone else will know.
It helps if you get into a system as well. Like I'm working with, it's a system that's in our area. So they have a chain. And that's really easy because then you're like, oh, well, I'm already working with Tammy over at the Academy of Spring Hill. Do you want to also work with me?
Yes.
That makes it so smooth. Yeah. Because once you're in a chain, it's so much easier. And I caught earlier you saying that some are trickier to get into. Some of them have like big corporate things that they're dealing with. The private preschools are a little easier to get into, and then you'll find certain chains that are easier to get into. So that's always...
do you guys, anybody have kinder care in their area? Okay. Kinder care, I do probably, I used to have 3, one of them because I do Scholastic. But I was like, new director. It's also getting to know your director too. The director is going to either love Scholastic or love Usborne, but most of them don't do anything. So they're down with whatever. But I do probably 3 or 4 of the kinder cares, and it's word of mouth. It really is. You definitely don't want to burn your bridges. You want to make a best impression and make this fair as easy. That's what they love about it, really, honestly, is they just open their doors. You walk in, you set it up, you take payment, get the books into the homes, and you deliver their books. That's what they love. These directors are super busy. They need us,
On that note, don't be afraid of schools already working with Scholastic. Almost all of my schools, 2 of my schools have now dropped Scholastic. They've been working with me long enough that they've dropped Scholastic. But almost all of my schools do Usborne and Scholastic. They just stagger us. And I still do 2 book fairs per year with them, and I still do about $1,500 average per book fair. Yeah. So don't be afraid of Scholastic.
Right, and just always say it gives them a variety of choices. We don't have commercial. Ours is, I think ours is a little bit more educational, our books. But just to give your parents a variety.
They are.
Yeah, my boys. I volunteered at my boys' Scholastic book fair yesterday. It was more reconnaissance work, really. And I was like, God, it's so commercial. It's like but they do have some good books too. I spent $50, so I did buy books from them. But I just feel like ours are just more education based and great for early learning. Okay. Any questions on any of that? I just kind of babbled. Sorry. Shoot.
I have a question about the kinder care. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey, Teresa.
Hey, I just was curious. How does that work? Do some of the kinder cares have like kindergarten, and does that mean that it's you have to have an ESR then, or?
You don't have to, right, Amanda?
Right. Yeah, that was a good question. They changed that policy, I want to say, when they did the big revamp.
I'll chime in with that. I asked home office, if it's just a kindergarten, you don't need a ESR. If it's a preschool kindergarten, if it goes above kindergarten, then you do.
Yep. Correct. And if it's affiliated with an elementary school, it's off limits. Like don't.
Correct.
If they just have through a kindergarten program, usually it's like a TK, like a transitional kindergarten. But that's fine. As long as they're not above kindergarten, it's fine.
Yep. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Questions?
Yeah. It looks like iPhone 7. Hi, iPhone 7. Asks how much. Hey. Oh wow, my children are freaking out. How much inventory do you need to bring per 50 children? It's so dependent.
Yeah.
It's just so dependent. Yeah, it's okay to do a book fair with $1,000 in books or less. Like that's okay. You can just take orders. Okay. Hi, Lori.
I make your name way fancier.
I tend to
Hooray.
do like, oh goodness. I mean, I'm tending to bring like 3,000, but again, sometimes a little bit more. But again, I run a lot of preschools. I run several in the fall and I run several in the spring, and I even have a couple during the summer. So
I never know how much I have. People ask me, I'm like, 2,000, 3, 7, I don't know.
no,
You can guesstimate about 500 books.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you have to think with preschool book fairs, the biggest downside for me is that your free books go to the school. That means you're never really going to get a zero balance from preschool book fairs. So don't take out inventory and go, I'm going to get a zero balance from just preschool book fairs. You're not. You can't. You have to do like a flash sale or something at the end of the year to get rid of all those extra books, which is fine. That's how I do it. Booths, it's so much easier because you get your 50% back in free books. So you can just put that toward your balance, but you can't put free books toward your balance with preschool book fairs. So that's one thing to take into consideration.
Mm-hmm. Anyone have online preschool fairs? Just online? No. I don't. What about? Like we were saying, the e-fair is sort of just the cherry on the top. Yeah, like I don't really rely too much. You can do, did you hear, Teresa, when we were talking about like you can leave a basket of books and order forms?
Yeah, I did. The director, she was requesting like online and not to have like an actual physical booth.
Yeah.
I think it's a small preschool and there's only 7 families right now, so
then
I wasn't sure.
Go for it. Yeah, just
like a party. Like really run it like a party. I would not set it up as an e-fair link because if she doesn't hit 250, then those books are kind of stuck. So unless she's willing to like pay it up to 250, I wouldn't do an e-fair link.
Then they don't get the half back.
But not only that, it's hard to get them to ship. I don't know how the shipping works. Like it becomes really convoluted unless you do. It's just tricky with an e-fair link when you've got 7 families. Like unless
what you could do is have them send you like do an order form and have them fill out the order form.
That's
and
what
then
I would
after it's over, see where you're at, whether you should submit it as a party or a book fair, depending on where their sales come in at.
Perfect. Yes.
So,
you could send home some of those early learning flyers. I think those would be good for a small school.
Mm-hmm.
Little flyers that home office has.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the other thing with 7 families is that director is going to be talking to everybody every day and they all know each other.
Yeah.
And so you're definitely going to get that information home, whereas a preschool that's got like 50, 60, 100 families, an e-fair is lost. It's a waste of space.
And Rosie, thank you for bringing that up. So your success is going to rely on the directors, the teachers spreading the word. You want to get them on your team right away. So you want the director, you want the front desk person to be saying, hey, the book fair is this week, you guys, don't forget, okay? Here's another flyer if you didn't get one before, because sometimes the kids, that doesn't get in their backpack or whatever, and doesn't get home. So you want to make sure every successful book fair, you guys, is when that front desk and the director is ready to roll, they're excited, and they're sharing that excitement. If they're not excited and they're not talking it up, you guys, it usually does not do well. So you definitely want to have them build that excitement. Okay.
Yeah. On that token, depending on your schools, my schools all have an electronic communication system. They're all using apps and things.
Sure.
Like my hosts, I send them the exact words and I say, hey, email this out please to all your parents as an alert or whatever at 3:00 p.m. so that they're aware and they're ready to go. So I almost treat them like a host, and then I'm having them message and having them do all those things.
Sure. For sure. Will you post the flyers you make so I have an idea? Yes. Yes, I will, Lori. I will post it in the event. Mine are kind of dated. I'm bad with graphics and stuff, but I can send you the link.
I'll post mine too.
Yeah, I'm gonna post yours. Yours are probably more up to date.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a little. I do a lot of pictures. Mine have a heavy color. I mostly do pictures. I don't do a lot of work.
Can you post the link of it? Because I think mine is probably too wordy.
I mean, I can post the
JPEG.
photo, but if I post the Canva link, then like, you mean the Canva link? Because the Canva link.
Just a photo of it, so
I'll
that they
post the
can.
photo. I've done the Canva link thing before, and it was really messy.
Yeah, I think less words though, more like fun pictures are definitely going to catch their attention a little bit more.
Honestly,
That
like
is way too wordy.
we all have little kids, right? Like most of us have little kids, or at least have had little kids. And if you are in a preschool, you're usually like surfboarding your kid out, or like you're trying to book it out of there. You're not reading on the wall. So like a giant picture of busy Santa on the wall is going to catch your eye. But like a paragraph, I would never have read that. And I'm one of those people that reads everything, but I would never, because I'm like surfboarding my kid out of there. Like,
even when it comes home, I don't even read it. I'm like, oh, that's way too long. So yeah, maybe just if you want to share yours, I'll share mine.
That's
that
fine.
will definitely help you guys out. Okay. Anything else? What else are we forgetting?
I had a question about chain schools. Has anybody worked with, do you have a La Petite in your area? Has anybody worked with them?
I do. Yeah.
I've been afraid to approach them because they seem so corporate.
Some will say they don't allow any outside vendors in. So then you're kind of, that's it. I have not. I've always thought about reaching out to them, but I haven't yet.
Okay.
So give it a try. Yeah.
I'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. And some.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to send a message and to make a phone call.
Yeah.
So the worst thing that you're going to get is no thank you.
Or
the runaround. Also note, I know the director is usually the point person, but a lot of times in these bigger schools, you'll find the assistant director is the one you want to talk to, or even the parent in command, because sometimes they're the ones that are in charge of like the program. So the teacher may like completely toss that off. So you might find if you're getting the runaround, you're calling the director and you've been calling like 3 or 4 times, just be like, you know what? Who's in charge of book fairs? Can I talk to somebody in charge of book fairs?
Yep.
Because yes, it took me a whole year to get in before I asked one time. I was like, actually, like, who do I talk to about book fairs? And she's like, oh, that's me. That's what, oh, okay. So like, you might hire wording things. And yes. So.
And sometimes they'll have to ask a higher in command, like a corporate person first, and then they'll get back to you. They'll probably not get back to you, so you're probably going to have to give them a call again and be like, hey, did you speak to so-and-so? Would this be okay? It just really depends. Sometimes they'll like, school will kind of do maybe what they're not supposed to do. That's happened to me. And then the following year, they're like, oh, that was kind of a no-no. We can't do that anymore. So be ready for that too. That if you do a book fair with somebody, you may not get it the next year. But most of my schools I do every year now. So it's good. But Petite, yeah, I've seen them all over, but I've never contacted them. So go for it and let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big chain.
Yeah.
There's at least 6 or 7, I think, in Vegas.
I think I went there when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, really?
It's been around for a while.
Cool. All right, guys, we got about, 10 more minutes if anybody wants to.
I have a question. So my son goes to a school. It's a daycare, but a preschool and a kindergarten. So it's infants through kindergarten. And the director wants me, she doesn't want a true book fair. She wants me to just like set a table up. So, and I mean, I try to talk to her about specifics and she's very scatterbrained. And so it's very hard to tie her down. I mean, I don't even, she wants a variety of books for all ages. I don't even know like how I would go about setting this up.
Have you asked, so I'm wondering if maybe she's just thinking of it like a scholastic book fair and she doesn't want to run a lot of things, because really essentially that's all you're doing. You're setting up a table and you're manning it. So you may just want to say like, that's how our book fairs work. We set up a table. I just am here to collect payment and I man it. And if that works for her, if she's still like, no, I don't want you there. I just want a table. Like, I mean, you can do it as order only. It would be an e-fair basically, and you would have catalogs out, and you could bring, a variety of books.
Okay. Because she wants me to do it in November so that people can kind of get some books for Christmas and stuff. I know they do a scholastic book fair in the spring. And they have for like the last 15 years.
Yeah, but that's the only time they do it. Because
Yeah.
I think that maybe she might be thinking that it's like a Scholastic Book Fair. Scholastic Book Fairs, you have to understand, are like a huge undertaking for schools.
Yes, they are.
Like volunteers and running.
My mom used to do it at her school.
Yeah.
So she may just be thinking like, I don't want to deal with, like, that's way too much.
Yeah.
And you feel like, no, you don't understand. Like, it is a table. I'm just manning it. Like, I'm running it for you. You do nothing.
Yeah, because
because
I told her, I said, well, do you want me to bring tables? She said, no, we'll just pull some tables from the next room over, give you like 2 tables, and you can just set books up. So, I mean, I don't want to have a lot of inventory out just because there are a lot of kids in and out of that school.
Mm-hmm.
And they want me to set it up next to the sign-in table, and there's a big open area next to that where they have the kids line up after they've washed their hands to get ready to go to meals and stuff. So I don't want to have too much inventory out just because I don't want grabby little fingers to like grab it.
I would say
So
just
from
set
my
up the
perspective,
day.
that's like the perfect spot.
Yeah.
That's like the ideal spot to set up, especially if you're manning. And, you know, I mean, I guess it depends on how out of control the teachers are. Because I was a preschool teacher for a while, and I would never let my kids even like walk near a book fair table if their parents weren't around.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on like the feel of the school. Now, if it's like directly, like if you're literally set up next to a seat, I'd be like, no. Because kids do this when they wash their hands. So.
No, it's away from the bathroom. So you go in and it's the bathroom's right there, and then you walk through a doorway. Oh, that is a very cool shirt, Rosie. And then it's got like where you put the lunch boxes, the sign-in table. Across from the sign-in table is where they hang their jackets and stuff. And then it's the sign-in table. And then she said there's some open space next to it that I can put. So they're not going to be winging wet hands around. And the teachers are usually pretty in control of the kids. Usually.
If you're worried about it, get some clear plastic drop cloths from Lowe's. They're like $3 and just throw it over your display. The kids can see through it, but they can't touch a book. They can't get them mucky, and you just pull them off when you're ready to do your selling at pickup time.
Okay.
Super easy. Simple.
Yeah. Also, like any super detailed books like pop-ups and fingerprint books and stuff.
Don't put those down. Yeah. Keep those
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody was asking, time of year. So I usually do a fall and a spring before Christmas. Those are good times. But whenever they want to do it, do it. So whatever works for them, if it's like a parent-teacher night or something, or come and look at your classrooms, you definitely want the traffic. If they have like a special event, like a concert or something, do it around that time because you're going to get grandma and grandpa, aunts and uncles in there, you know, that type of thing. Do you take credit cards, or do some of you just do cash and carry? I take credit cards. I have a Square reader. I recommend always being able to take credit cards. If anybody's like me, I have cash for maybe a split second and it's gone. So you definitely want to get a Square or a PayPal account. Okay, have a cash box. Yeah. Venmo or Zelly, do you guys take those? Rosie, Amanda? I don't do.
That was my toddler, not me. I don't know if you heard the tooting. It's not me.
The farting? Oh, I didn't hear it. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Like really? Anyway, I take
judge if it was you.
There's a foot. I take card. I don't know. I actually lately, honest, this is super lazy of me. You shouldn't listen. But the last 2 book fairs that I've done like little fall festivals, so just a couple hours, not full book fairs. And I didn't even bring cash with me. And I told them if they wanted to pay cash, then it had to be close to exact change. I had coin change, but I didn't bring like cash change with me because I never, like, all of my parents pay credit card.
Yeah, all it just depends. I get a good amount of cash, so I always have a cash box with me.
Yeah, you have to read your schools. Like,
you don't want to lose a sale over not having change.
Yeah,
is my idea.
Yes, you charge tax, Laurie. I always keep cash, especially if I'm doing book fairs around payday. We are a Title I. The entire county is Title I. We're a big geographical county, lots of small mom and pop places, and people wait for payday. They get their cash in an envelope on payday. So it depends on your area. If you're more affluent, where everybody's got plastic and they're waving these big fat platinum cards at you, then you're laughing. But cash out of an envelope kind of preschool book fairs. So
Yeah.
it's a little different. And I don't sell many busy books. It's all the cheaper books. So you've got to kind of read your school, read your audience. If they're on DHS fees, that's different again. You know, yeah, we're borders and not many. So it's different. But this school book fair is crazy. So
Rosie, Amanda, do you guys do cashback options for preschools? I do not.
no.
No. Okay. So that was from Teresa. I would not do that, Teresa, because they're not selling enough. Preschools are, I mean, Amanda, you're doing 1,500. That's great on average. But I just don't offer, unless they ask. Now, what if they ask? I would say do it on a sliding scale. No, just say no.
I wouldn't. It's so
You could do like
complicated.
10% if you want, 20%, you know, whatever you want to do.
You could.
But I would also set your minimum high enough because you want to be able to reconcile part of the books in the free books so that you can get cash. So you need to be doing at least $375. I would probably say $500 minimum for cash back.
$750.
And then you put 1/3 of the books in the free. That frees up the cash to give them. And they are not getting that full third of cash. For a $500 book fair, they might get 20% maybe if I'm feeling good.
Sure.
But I wouldn't bother. I would do, if you want cash, we'll do a cards for cause.
Yeah, the way that it works is that you're selling their free books for cash. So you're taking, like, it's less, you're taking less of the full retail and you're giving them their free book that you sold for cash. You're giving them that cash. It's just complex. I don't like to deal with it. I guess in theory, if someone like begged me, I mean, I probably would offer cards for a cause. Honestly. It's just complicated. But yes, you can if you absolutely want to.
Okay, and we talked about
Lots of bad math.
Yes.
If I have people who want to do cash back, then I do like 10% at $1,000, and then I do a sliding from 1,000. I won't do cash back for anything under 1,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then one more thing with the tax question, like if you charge people tax, it depends on the state that you're in. I know where I'm at, like the school, they can, like the last school that I did, they took all the payments and then they cut me a check and I used their tax exemption form, but it really depends on the state. So if they want, I mean, that's just something you need to check with tax.
You also need to be very careful doing that because if the tax man catches them and they do not have those books physically in the school, they can get hit with a fine because that tax exemption is for them to purchase things for their school.
Yeah, well, like I said,
them to purchase things for the parents. So you just want to give, be careful with that tax exemption.
Right, and like I said, it depends on the state. So really do your research if they're wanting to not charge, like if they don't want to charge the parents tax. It really depends on the state that you're in. So make sure you do your research on that.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, guys, any more questions?
I'm going to let you leave you. I have to go get lunch before I head back to the book fair. So
Bye, Rosie.
bye, everyone.
Seeing you. Okay. Any more questions, guys? I know we kind of bulldozed through it a little bit.
You're welcome to post things on the event wall if you can't think of something right now and we hang up and you're like, and then to ask. You're welcome to post it on the event wall and we can respond.
Yes. Okay. I think please share the flyers. Okay, you got that, Amanda? You want to share yours? Okay. Cool. I think we're done for now. Like Amanda said, if you think of anything last minute, just go ahead and post in the comments and go for it, you guys. It's a little scary reaching out, but once you start doing it, you get used to it and it gets less scary. And don't be afraid of hearing no. You will hear no's. But you're also going to hear a lot of yeses. And preschool book fairs are just super fun. They're very rewarding and they're easy. You don't need to be there for a week. It's 1 or 2 days. So it's a really good way to goals and get books into kids' hands. Okay, one more question.
What kind of year are we talking about?
If schools want a letter, do we have a sample letter? Yes. So Amanda, you're going to post a sample letter?
I mean, I have a letter that I send out as like a marketing letter. Is that what we're talking? What are we talking about?
No, I think she's saying, you mean a letter to send home with the parents? Stephanie?
Yeah, I guess that. And, yeah, because, I mean, since you're going to be talking to the schools, they shouldn't be wanting a letter of information because we're just presenting the information.
I have something.
Like when I'm cold calling a school, I actually preface it with I send an email. I haven't cold talked to a school in a while because I'm in the chains now. But when I am cold calling schools, I send an email and then I call for the answer. I say, hey, I sent an email. I don't know if you've had a chance to look over it because they haven't looked at it. I know they haven't. And then I say, I'm Amanda with Usborne, blah, blah, blah. Do you have an Usborne consultant? If not, if you'd like to look at that letter with details, or
Violet, just a minute.
Talk to me, I can give them to you. And that has gotten me into several preschools.
Yeah. And I have one I can share with you, Stephanie. Just message me and I'll, I guess I could email it to you. And it's just something I bring with me at the meetings.
Okay, that'd be helpful too,
Like,
yeah.
benefits of hosting an Usborne Book Fair.
Okay.
It's real easy. It's real simple. Okay?
Yes,
All right,
thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.